Commission.
Yes, I move to appoint the following individuals to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Place 1, Dahlia Hassani, for the term ending in 2028. Place 2, Terry Wilkinson, with the term ending in 2027. Place 3, Nizar Didarali, with the term ending in 2028. Place 4, Jack Richards, with the term ending 2027. Place 5, Lanny Huggins, term ending 2028. Place 6, Jennifer Cons-Alt, with the term ending 2027. Place 7, Scott Montopoli, with the term ending in 2028.
Okay. Can I get the Texas Student Housing?
Yes.
Just a second.
I'm sorry,
Do we
Mayor.
vote on this, or we can do it?
We need a second first.
Second and a vote, please.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved. I think that was the motion.
That was the motion.
Can I get a second?
That was me.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Reeves. For Texas Student Housing,
Yes. I move to appoint the following individuals to the Texas Student Housing Authority. Scott Bradley, with term ending 2028. James Krakow, term ending 2028. Paula Peterson, term ending 2027. Mark Harrow, term ending 2027. Richard Muller, term ending 2028. Catherine Keene, term ending 2020.
can I get a second to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Item G2, to discuss, consider an act to approve the Planning and Zoning Commission Chair and Vice Chair through June 2028, I think is the new one. The Planning and Zoning Commission Chair and Vice Chair are appointed annually by the Mayor. The Mayor, I appoint Terry Wilkinson as a Planning and Zoning Chair and Lanny Hudkins as a Vice Chair. We do not need a vote on this. Next, Westlake Academy Board of Trustees agenda, 6:10. Any parent and public comment? I'll take that as no. Reports and updates. Ms. Briggs.
It is.
It's not going.
All right. Got it. Okay, so I'm going to keep these short. We wanted to update you guys on what we have been doing with Technology Lab and Charter Impact, as obviously there are major transitions that we are doing right now. So both contracts started on 7/1, but there was a lot of prep work that went into kind of before 7/1. Specifically with Technology Lab, we had one of the biggest things we were concerned about is having our technology turned over before staff went to summer. And so that was a big success. We were able to, when we're talking about asset management, they sent 3 and at some points 4 technicians to campus. And we were able to roll over all of our staff laptops and iPads so that they were able to take them and work over summer. This is a huge deal because they were on campus. Technology Lab really did a ton of work. I think they rolled over about, I want to say, 1,300 to 1,400 technology pieces, and so that takes a lot of time. They were on campus. They walked and did 3D scans of all of our rooms and buildings and closets, just to make sure that if they're helping us virtually, they're able to actually look in the room, see what technology is there, what that looks like, just another added layer. There is a technician that has been on campus for a large part of the summer. Daniel, he's local. They've also have flown in various people to campus to help us out. So the virtual help through the support portal has been awesome. They've been super responsive, but also the hands-on physical in-person help has also been great. So we have been just absolutely thrilled with their service. So that's the asset management, the MDN transition. We're going from Jamf to a education-based mobile kind of device management system called Mosul. And so it's education specific. We're able to see everything. They're able to remotely fix and manage all of those things. The next important thing is internet. AT&T installed our internet and kind of that last leg of installation on Friday. Tech Lab will be on campus tomorrow to install the firewall and make sure that we are completely transitioned over. That'll be the last kind of big technology piece, or as far as internet goes. The phone system, we're transitioning from Zoom to a much cheaper system that's going to save us about $10,000. And so we're going to go to True IP. They are porting the numbers right now. The town was gracious to allow us to keep the numbers and port the numbers that we have. So there's going to be no transition as far as what the school's phone number is, which seems like a small thing, but is a huge thing to make sure that stays consistent. So that'll be finished hopefully by the end of this week, beginning of next week, to make sure our phone systems work seamlessly. And then there's just been a lot of cleanup. So in June, when they were here for the first 2-3 weeks, going through inventory, finding things, making sure that the tech closet is getting cleaned up, and making sure that goes okay, and just kind of different efficiencies that need to happen as far as making sure we know what is on our campus and why. What is still left, I think I've, for the most part, covered all of these Zoom phones. They'll be done for sure by the end of next week. HVAC, that is still something that we are still tied to with the controllers, and we're looking at what that looks like to make sure that we can maintain web control, but that is still one of the pending things, not as high priority because we have control, we have access, but something still on the still in mind. Internet, that will be done, completed tomorrow. Microsoft and licensing, all of those things are completely done and transitioned over to Tech Lab, so all of those licenses are separated and officially the academies. And then still to happen, a ton of cleanup, a ton of recycling, a lot of old devices that have been around, and making sure that everything is efficient and clean so that we're able to run what we need to do and make sure that we know exactly where everything is, which is something that we're really, really excited about. Any questions about technology?
So can you said you switched to a new internet provider. Is this going to be an improvement in efficiency compared to our old one? I mean, I know that previously there was a lot of problems with spots on campus that had very, very poor reception.
Yes,
How's
so
that working?
I don't know that it's necessarily a provider, but it's definitely going to be a hardware on campus improvement. We're working on making sure that all of our IPs are access points are exactly where they need to be on campus. There are still some improvements, like the Arts and Science building, you can barely make a phone call out of it or receive a text message. And so that's something that once we get school started, that's something that we're looking at. But they are keeping a very proactive look on campus as far as internet is concerned. So they have a heat map that is able to, in real time, anticipate an outage before it happens. And so that's something that we're excited about because they'll be able to catch a glitch in the internet before we feel any effects on campus.
What about though, like, because the students rely on the Wi-Fi for their devices, are they adding more access points and stuff in order to make that more efficient?
At this point, we're making sure that everything is completely optimized, and they're walking campus. They're making sure that's part of what they were doing on campus, going room to room and making sure that everything has the systems in place.
And I assume they anticipate there's going to be some issues as students come back on campus, and then that load is increased that they might have to make.
Of course, I think when we're working on what does it look like for rollout, we're going to do certain grades at different times so that when we have a single sign on an iPad, it's not all 900 iPads are trying to get on and load. We've also done some front loading and making sure that we have different profiles for different grades that are loading already and are charging and loading already so that when everyone signs in, the apps aren't downloading all at once. So
just to refresh my memory, because I know that sometimes students who took their iPads home, sometimes they left them. Did we have them leave them all this year so that they can all be transitioned over?
Yes, we had everyone turn everything in. And if they did not return an iPad, they have already paid for it. So we only had a couple.
That was a sight to see at the end of the year, all those iPads.
It was, yeah. I've been drowning in iPads over, a little bit, and the dining hall has been just thousands of devices.
The other thing, Tammy, just with regards to the internet, remember the
installation of the new internet was part of the E-rate process also. So when we were awarded E-rate, what happens is you have to get bids from different providers, and then from those bids, you pick one that will be your provider, and that gives you access to those decreased rates for schools. And so AT&T came in with the best bid, and that's why this transition is happening.
Yeah, we'll get about 30, I think it was about 30 to 40% off.
Yeah.
Right.
Based on the process. Any other questions about tech?
Well
Lots to
done.
come. Tech Lab has been fantastic to work with. All right, charter impact. So this is our finance leg of the transition. These, again, the bullet points I'm putting on here are not all encompassing. They all have many tangents, but these are kind of just that higher level view. The budget, where we are, what we've been doing, build a budget from the ground up. Because numbers from 26 weren't necessarily available, we were able to take the state, the summary of finance from the state and build a budget from that. So we're not basing it off of what we did or didn't know last year, but what the state is going to give us. And so there is not anything that is a question. The town's transfer, the Blacksmith Fund, and making sure that we get that. But that is the numbers that the budget were built on. It's not anything besides those items. APs, we have a great system and instruments that we're using. We are able to see budget lines in real time. So the minute we submit or we do an AP roll, we're able to see that adjustment in the line immediately. We're getting all of our invoices and past due invoices all teed up, and we are completely caught up and working on that, which has been awesome and really great to see that in real time.
Michelle, I would love for you to share that, however, what you showed me. Or
Yeah, I'll
with the
send
board.
I'll send a little screen recording. I was
It's
going to
really
show slides. I was going to put some slides on here, but I didn't. It's not super. But I might do a screen recording to show you exactly what it looks
Yeah,
like.
it's really cool.
It's going to put us in a really great position to see everything real time with the swipe of a credit card. Things happen. So with that, we are looking at transitioning to P cards that are through instruments that will, when they are scanned and used and reconciled, they're again taken out of the system that we're using to run all of that. And so it's an immediate visibility for us, which is going to be great. Personnel-wise, we have Liz Richard that she has assumed the liaison position at the academy. She's been fantastic and really helped us while we're doing all kind of spinning multiple plates. Liz has ensured and really taken her finance that she had at HEB and some experience running some of those invoices and POs there, has brought that expertise to campus and has been great. Payroll. I know a lot of you know we had the process, what we thought we were going to be able to get a separate EIN. We realized that was not the best move for the academy, and so we're not going to be doing that just because of the way that everything is set up. And so that's the thing that has slowed us down the most in the payroll process, is because we don't have our own EIN, we're having to ensure Charter Impact couldn't run the payroll like they were hoping to, because you can't, as far as just making sure that everything is legal as far as reporting and all of that. So we are moving forward on that. We've been shadowing, we've been learning what that looks like and figuring out what is the best path forward that makes us efficient with using the processes that we're hoping to be using. So we have trainings on system. We're nearly complete. Charter Impact is hoping to taking payroll over fully in August. And so we're hopeful for that. That's something that is still remaining, still pending. We're still looking for correct kind of authorizations for the academy staff and P cards, looking into a new system. But as far as the P cards we have now, we're really trying not to use them and making sure that we can roll back some of those authorizations. And then the bank account, we are working with the bank to get the financial policies that you guys adopted last month to make sure that they're enacted and we get the right people in those accounts and making sure that access is updated. So did I miss anything? Any questions? Yes.
Just payroll.
Yeah.
If you're not going to have your own EIN, that means they're going to be running payroll. Their charter impact is going to be
Yes.
running payroll, but it's still going to be town's EIN?
Yes, it will be the town's EIN. So the way that it works is, so Region 11 offers, let's use this as an example. Region 11 offers this service, like they will run your payroll for you. And the way that they do it, the system that they use is okay submitting the numbers, the reports, the payroll that they've done to the EIN holder for reporting to the IRS. The system Charter Impact was using was not comfortable or wouldn't allow us to give our reports to the town for reporting to the IRS, if that makes sense. So that system didn't allow for that to happen. So
that's now been.
So we are, right now, we're using eFinance, the same system that we've always been using to run payroll. And it will, it'll go through, we will submit the reports that we have to the town for tax reporting purposes. Did I get that correctly?
I think, yeah,
So,
for
yeah.
W-2 purposes.
Yeah.
It has to be one, otherwise you're going to wind up having two
Right.
withholdings and it's going to be a mess.
Yes, yes. Ideally, and we're meeting with Janet to see if there's workarounds. Right now, in the immediate, we had to get payroll addressed, and so this was the path of least resistance, which hasn't felt like least resistance. And I want to recognize Marlene has made herself available for hours and hours and hours, helping Charter Impact understand these kind of behind-the-scenes processes. There's a lot of spreadsheets that are used. There's a lot of reconciliation that then goes into eFinance. It's a multi-step process. And so we're in the best case scenario we can be to ensure that people don't miss a paycheck, which is critical. It is not the best case scenario to move forward. And so those conversations are still going on, both from a legal standpoint as well as with Charter Impact as the provider of this service. They have come up with some options. One of them would be for them to use QuickBooks for Westlake Academy, where they use their other system for the other schools that do have their own EIN. There's always the possibility if they can't get it straightened out, then we have to pull payroll from them and go through the regional service center. There's options. There's an option that legally we figure out what that can look like. But right now, not having our own identity and our own EIN is problematic, particularly for payroll.
It wasn't necessarily that we're using a third party. It was the fact that the system that the third party is using wasn't allowing that.
Right.
And so this is something that's done all the time, just through different systems. That's why I use the example of Region 11. They provide the service. They don't mind submitting the reports to the town, so that is why Charter Impact is, if they want to keep the payroll section of what we are doing, they're going to find some workaround. Right now, the muckiness and the workaround is trying to get Charter Impact to understand what the town has been doing in payroll and in walking in their shoes to do it their way. And that has been a little difficult because they're trying to learn those systems. So I think we've, for the most part, got it. They've put their best people on it. They have hired experts. They have done everything they can to ensure that they're working towards the best solution, but that has for sure been one of the challenges.
Maybe sometime you and I, Kelly, can talk about this issue, because I've dealt with it before.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Yeah. No, we love your expertise there. That would
Good
be
time
awesome.
for all.
Yeah. Any other questions about finance?
When will we declare victory on operations?
We're really close with technology. I think probably in the next week. That is a huge. I feel very good about the grasp we have on where we're at. Once we get our phone systems, that'll be kind of that last hurrah. And finance, I think for sure by the end of, I want to say end of August, we will have a path forward of exactly what we're doing and where we're going with that. I think we both remain very hopeful. And
I think that one of the things I want to just touch on is when we were doing this, I know there was some talk about, can you do both? Is it possible to do both of these and do them successfully on top of each other? And Michelle has, I can't even quantify the number of hours, the number of conversations. She spent multiple weekends, not one day a weekend, weekends at the school, ensuring that all the technology pieces were getting done, sorting through, doing all of the things behind the scenes to kind of make sure that we were on the right path with all of these. I've of course, I haven't been spending as many weekends as she has, but we've been on meetings. There have been so much groundwork laid for this, and so we are really happy about where we are. We feel very secure about where we are, and we really want to thank you guys for going in with us and letting us move forward on both of these at the same time. We knew it could be done. It's not completely, every box hasn't been checked, but everything is moving forward in a really positive way, and we're
very
excited.
grateful. We're muscling through to make sure that we could do it. I remember Mr. Yakira telling us that he was the most concerned about that part. So I think about you on those weekends, Mr. Yakira.
The degree of difficulty was high, there's no
Thank you.
doubt.
Means a lot.
Well
And
said.
we have good partners, like the
No, we have
Technology
fantastic
Lab and Charter Impact have met us where we are and have walked through this, and it's been.
They've given us really every resource that they have. So, any other questions?
Any other questions, board? Great job, y'all.
Thank
Thank
you all.
you.
Thank you.
Mayor and council, real quick, I'd also like to thank Dustin and Ray, Marlene and Casey for the job they've done on the town
Absolutely.
side, just to make sure that they're being incredibly
Absolutely.
cooperative and making sure that the transition can happen successfully. Without them, it would have been very difficult for these groups of people to come in and understand the way it's done today so that they can take it forward from there. So I really appreciate the town staff helping with that.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, as I think about this, we are putting the academy, well, the town and the academy last couple of years, fundamental changes. Great job across the board. Thank y'all. All right, regular agenda items. Consider act to approve WA Resolution 26-15 approving the Westlake Academy amended operating budget for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026. KCE. Speak of the devil.
Right, so this agenda item is going to be the last action for fiscal year 26 budget that council takes. So before we get started, I just wanted to make a note, this item was deferred from the last meeting. Everything that was in there was not changed. The literal only thing that has changed from last meeting to this is the date on the resolution in the packet, so. All right, and so what we are talking about today is just refreshing your memory that for fiscal year 26, the board adopted a budget that had revenues of 12.3 million, expenditures with 11.7, intending to contribute about $650,000 to fund balance. This comes forward at the end of the year every year because TEA actually requires that the final amended budget reasonably align with expenditures, and how they define that is within 10% at the functional category. So the final budget amendment today is going to increase revenues to 13.1 and expenditures to 12.6, resulting in a projected contribution to fund balance of about 540,000. And so I also want to reiterate that this is budgetary in nature. I know that we include schedules to give you an idea of kind of where we were with actuals as well. Again, this was all prepared over a month ago, and that leaves out 3 months of TEA actuals, which is a huge part of our revenues. We also have things that trickle in after 6:30 every single year. And then the final thing that I just want to reiterate is this is talking about budget. This is not talking about audited financials. So the numbers that we come back and discuss with council as far as the annual financial report goes will look different. council is only required to adopt the general fund. And so financials have all of the funds. We make fun little accounting nerd entries to shore things up according to GASB and to GAAP. So what we're talking about today is just the budget so that we can finalize our financial reports and get everything over to TEA appropriately. Do we have any questions?
Questions?
Can I ask one thing? So the estimated 540,000 to fund balance, does that include the 330,000 that the state will be taking back as a result of that's still on the summary of finance? We won't get that, so I'm not sure if that's including that or not.
That's a slightly separate consideration. You're talking about actuals versus budget. And so they have been remitting those funds throughout the year. We are not budgeting to include them. The fiscal year 26 budget was adopted with about $140,000 planned. Once they passed that rule last year, increasing the facilities allotment, they adjusted what they were remitting to us as though we would be receiving the over $300,000 for this budget. We are taking it down to zero from the 100, and I think it was 37.
So this will be real money back into the account, not 540 minus 330. This will be
It is not 540 minus 330, correct?
Okay.
540. When will they take that money back? Do we know?
Usually, if they have any clawbacks, it's on that August payment that they make, so that would happen August 25th or so.
What if they don't do it?
And I might be back.
We would be celebrating, and other schools will too, because three attorneys have told us they will for sure be taking that back. So that's why I want to make sure that that wasn't included.
Hopefully pleasantly.
We'll
And
buy
that's
some,
also
we'll buy
clearly-
ACs.
Do what?
I was going to say, and we did clearly spell that
All
out in the
fungible.
staff report also with the exact numbers.
Okay, excellent.
I asked, and that is, we have really three different things here. We have the budget, we have the amended budget, and we have the actuals through a certain period of time.
Correct.
And the certain period of time, actuals, we don't have to do anything with respect to the amended budget for that. In other words, when we finalize June 30th numbers, we don't have to take another action.
Correct. That's why whenever we come back and we do the amendment, we only have to get within that 10%
10%.
that TEA says.
Okay.
I can absolutely be done. I can also stand up here all day. I told y'all I like talking budget.
Todd's hungry.
All right, fine. I can also go away.
Wait a minute, I don't know, we don't want to rush through this. Any questions on this? Anything else? Casey? Can I get a motion to approve WA Resolution 2615 as presented?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Casey, thank you.
Thank y'all.
Light day at the office. Okay, agenda item K2, consider an act to approve WA Resolution 26-20, amending the Westlake Academy operating budget for fiscal year ending June 30, 2027, to include a 1.8% cost of living adjustment for Westlake Academy employees. Richie.
Thank you very much. So when we were here last month, our goal was to do a 2% cost of living adjustment for all employees. And after working with Sandy, who spent hours on, different models and what they could look like, and just tons of math around that, and also working with JW, who you met last month, what we feel really comfortable coming in at is 1.8%. That puts us still in a range, given the economic situation of most schools, that puts us in a range of being able to offer some recognition around a raise without putting ourselves in a budget deficit. And some of those original models based on that 2% were putting us in a budget deficit for next year, and that definitely is not what we want to go into the year doing. So This raise allows us to recognize employee efforts and try to keep up with the rising costs of everything and acknowledge the constraints of the very real budget numbers. So staff is recommending that we pass this 1.8%. You'll see that still leaves us with about $125,000 in earned income for next year, and that will, be in addition to the fund balance that's rolling over from this year.
For sure.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Revenues are much more fun.
They didn't change,
Expenses
so-
are, sorry. I didn't click it here. I scrolled but didn't click. So there's there's.
So your
the-
adopted budget didn't have any increase, right?
Correct,
We were talking about potential for 2%
Yeah.
increase.
correct.
So what would a 2% increase look like?
It was coming in about $440,000, I believe, to do the original model.
And what is the 1%, 1.8%?
So now 280,000.
So we would be here,
Right.
be on the cusp of being break even.
Yes, that's exactly right. And it was just under what we would
We're
have
being
had.
conservative.
Yes, we're being intentionally conservative,
Okay. Fair.
which is how we approached this whole budget build, was to be
and-
intentionally conservative
Look,
with
we
it.
want to, we want to pay our teachers everything we can. We know
Right.
where we are, percentile. We know what our attrition is. I think this is a good place to land and show some appreciation. I think I sent this, I know I sent it to you things, I think I sent it to the rest of the board. Fort Worth ISD has lost almost 1,000
Yes.
teachers since the TEA takeover. It is a grim, our public schools, I continue to be concerned about.
Yeah, this is not an anomaly, these conversations. And what we have to remember is we did a lot of efficiency modeling that first year that I was here. We consolidated roles where we could. We cut extraneous roles that weren't absolutely needed. So we were able to trim the budget up there considerably. What we have not had to do is start dipping into areas that are student-facing, which some schools have not been lucky enough to do.
Yeah.
We've been very prudent about our approaches there. And we also, I don't know if you guys were looking, but like Keller ISD, our closest competitor as far as proximity, they're doing a 1% raise. So we're almost a full percentage point above that. So we're really proud of the work that's been done on here. We're proud that we're able to retain who we were able to retain and offer a competitive salary and offer this 1.8% increase for next year.
And I will echo again, the staff that you've brought in, I read the resumes in the background, just seem outstanding. Yeah.
We're very excited about
Which
our
you've
new hires.
continually been able.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions? Can I get a motion to approve WA 26-15 as amended?
Moved.
I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor, I'm sorry.
Yes.
We're on K2. Could you
Oh,
reread that, please?
I'm sorry, I was trying to get us out of here.
Yeah.
K2, consider an act to approve Resolution 26-20, amending the Westlake Academy operating budget for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2027, to include a 1.8% cost of living adjustment for Westlake Academy employees. Can I get a motion? Can I get a second?
Second.
So moved, sorry.
It is almost.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank
Sorry
you
to mess
very
that
much.
up.
You just gave him a 3.8.
There we
6%
go.
increase.
There we go.
Really?
K3, discuss, consider act regarding WA Resolution 26-19, at the right place, approving amendments to the WA school year 26-27 compensation schedule. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, good
There you
evening.
are.
My part is really easy. Dr. Ritchie did all the explaining, so we said last month we would return with an amended compensation plan, and so it was submitted, and now we just need the vote to accept.
Any questions?
Just one. So this reflects the changes that we just discussed?
Correct.
And that's the only difference between the two?
Sir?
That's the only difference between what we saw last month
Yes,
and now?
the actual salary, any schedule that had a step on it.
Yes.
Those were the only ones that
Okay.
changed.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Can I get a motion to approve WA school year 26-27 compensation schedule?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We did executive session. Thank you. Future agenda items, we kind of talked about this. I want to make sure, we're kind of in the hygiene. I want to put together a group to put together a policy, Kelly, for donations, what the proper, we talked about the MOU for the foundation. Want to make sure we have a good policy about how we accept donations or decline donations. I want to put together a discussion around how we're going to manage our buildings going forward and make sure that is airtight, that there's no misunderstanding of who's doing what when. And then the other thing, and we just put as a side note, we got a couple of reviews coming up. We need to put kind of a comp or review committee together to help us put together. You guys need to start your reviews together. We'll get a group together here. I don't know, you mentioned some forms and stuff, but just how we're going to do, let's formalize all this stuff a little better than we did last year. Your annual reviews, your performance reviews, right? So we want feedback on all that. I would ask you guys to get started, but we need to talk about what forms we want to use. It's still been, I know, Todd, you made some comments on that. So we'll do that offline. Staff recap to the council board of directors, Wade?
Yes, sir. So in the staff recap, so we've got, we need to ensure that we're including the debt ratios when the next time that we talk about the budget. And then also, we're going to be emailing the data on turnovers to the council members.
And Wade, and I'm going to say this again, I apologize, but I need you guys to put together your elevator speech.
Yes, sir.
Right. Revenues are up, expenses are this, our debt is this, our debt ratio is here, our general fund has grown. I need everyone on the board to understand those 5 or 6 deals that's ingrained in our brain, that we can have those conversations. And Kelly, we'll do the same type thing for you students and all that. We have very good stories to tell, and I just want to make sure we're telling that story. Okay. Anything else from the board? Sorry, it was a long day at the office, y'all, but it was very productive. You do get overtime, by God.